Everybody, it's Monica from Pear Treasures, and I'm here today to start the tutorial for the dresser trunk. Okay, I'm going to be working with the Bo Bunny collection. There was 2 kits available. You can go and check and see if they're still available at countrycraftcreations.com, or you can go to my website, peartreetreasures.ca. I do not have any of the Accolade collection left, but if you want it, send me a message. Okay, and the Bo Bunny kits are limited still. I have only a couple left. I don't know how much Tamara has left over at Country Craft Creations, but if there's any, you might want to go snap them up. Okay, so this is where we're going to start. I'm going to start first by, now I pre-did all of my construction strips, okay? All of the measurements are in the cutting guide. You can get the cutting guide in the package when you order the kit, okay? So I'm going to give you just a few things that you can grab that you're going to need to put this together. So you're going to need your construction strips, okay? You're going to need a pair of scissors. You're going to need a pencil, possibly, for marking your paper. You're going to need a trimmer, all right, a paper trimmer, or any tool that you're using, a ruler and a craft knife, that's fine too. I'm going to be using glossy accents to stick my embellishments on, just to give it a little extra strength. You can use whatever adhesive you like. You're going to need a burnishing tool, a spatula, a bone folder, whatever you guys got. And you need to burnish this project really well. And also you can use this for spreading the glue around. A black Sharpie or a black magic marker, just to cover the chipboard in the places that you missed covering the paper. Okay, so you'll see as we go along, you might want to need one of them. Handy dandy craft knife. And I'm going to be using as well the art glitter glue. Okay, not for everything, because I've used my score tape to make my construction strips, but as a backup I'm going to be using the art glitter glue. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I instructed you guys in the cutting guide, okay, to cut out in advance all of the pieces. And also in the in the guide, I also said that I want you guys to write on each piece, okay, what the piece is. All right, so some of them are very obvious. Okay, so this piece is obvious. All right, so you guys have already cut that out. And in the cutting guide, I tell you how to cut it out, and then I explain that you need to cut a 1/16 of an inch off of this side and this side. Okay, so I'm going to start with my sides. Okay, and I'm going to get my paper out. Now, as I said, I'm using the Bo Bunny collection, and we are just going to jump right in here. So I'm going to pull out all 4 sheets that are included in the kit of the striped paper. Okay, because we're going to do our sides first. So this is how I do it. It just makes life way easier. By the way, I'm not cutting on my desk. This is a cutting mat. Alright, so just saying, don't panic. Okay, so I'm going to take my striped paper. It is directional. Okay, there's numbers and letters on here, and if you put it upside down, you are going to see it. Okay, so that is the direction I want to go in, up and down. I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to glue these pieces right onto here. Okay, so I'm going to get my art glitter glue out, and we're just diving right in here, people. I had some computer issues and I was fighting with my computer, and well, it was my laptop, and it is now officially in the computer graveyard. It is done. Okay, the power supply blew up, and that was it. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to just line it up on the edges of the paper. And you can use score tape if you want. You can use whatever you like using, okay? I just like doing it this way. Gives you a little leeway. I'm going to push the glue around. Okay, so I'm going to burnish it, and I can feel where it is when I'm burnishing this. So don't use too much of your glue. You don't want lumpies on there. Okay. And then I'm going to flip it back over, and I'm going to glue this onto here as well. And I'm only going to show you these a couple of times because then you guys will get the hang of it, and then we can fast forward through it so you guys don't have to listen to the scratchy sound. Okay. And I'm literally just pushing it up against there, not too tight though, because you want to be able to get your craft knife in there, because we're going to cut this off. Okay. Again, I'm going to spread the glue around. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my craft knife, my X-Acto, and I'm going to make sure it's tight, and then I'm going to cut this off. And when I do this, I'm going to do the same thing for all of these, okay? I'm using the chipboard as a guide for my blade, okay? Just makes life a little bit easier. And as I said, I'm just going to do this one right now so you guys can see how I'm doing it. And I am going to save these because I can do that later. So I'm going to put all my papers aside. Okay. And then I'm going to cut on this side. And again, don't cut into your chipboard, and let the craft knife do the work. I always suggest that you guys start with a nice sharp blade too. Life is just simpler if you do it that way. Okay, there's the little sliver we got. I put the garbage on the other side again. Okay, I'm moving my garbage. I'm throwing all this stuff on the floor. Okay, so now moving forward, each piece you cut, you're going to see, okay, so there's a little bit of an edge there. I'm going to trim that off. Okay. If you leave it on there, when you go to put your construction strips down, it will affect your project. Not a lot, okay, but I'm a little bit of a perfectionist, and I insist that it is all just so. Okay, so that is this side. That side's done. I'm going to push this up here. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is the other side. But as you can see, so this would be the left side. This is the left outside that we just did. So I'm going to take my paper, and what I want you to do is realize that it has to go opposite. Okay, because this is for the outside. So the easiest way to do this is just hold these two together, flip this upside down, hold it on there, okay, and that's how you want it. All right, so now I'm going to glue this side down as well. So this is what we have, like that. So these pieces are good for now. We're going to stack them together and set them aside. Okay. Now the next piece that, let me just fix this for a second here. The next piece we're going to do is the back. okay? And we had cut this out at the same time. So what we're going to do is set that aside because we're not at that point yet, okay? So this is the back, and we're going to do the exact same thing to the back. Okay, so we're done our back. And now what we want to do is get our front piece. Front bottom. Oh boy. And front top. Okay. So, with our last piece of our striped paper, we're going to glue this. We'll start at the bottom because this is going to be the bottom piece, right? Front, bottom. We have marked. I'm going to glue the pencil side down. Top of it, I'm going to butt it up against this one, okay? And that's so they match. So when you close the front of the box, they're gonna match. Also, don't forget, as in the cutting guide, that you trimmed off this bottom piece, okay? Okay, so now I have all 4 sides covered, okay? So the next thing I want you to grab is the bottom. And I am unsure which piece the bottom is. There's 2 pieces. One I have marked inside bottom, and one I have marked outside bottom. Okay. So both are the same size. If you didn't mark it, pick one. And then I forgot to write on this one, so I'm gonna put inside bottom. Okay, so I can go set it back down and I won't forget. So now we have to choose a paper that you are going to cover the outside bottom with. You do not have to cover it with pattern paper if you don't want to. You can use cardstock. But don't use the cardstock that's in the kit because you're going to need those for construction strips, okay? So what I'm going to use on the bottom, I had used this, okay, for the outside of the original picture that you guys see. But I think I'm going to switch it up. And what I'm going to do is I am going to put that piece but on this side. So I'm going to use this for the bottom. I just think it looks kind of pretty. And although I probably won't ever see it, it's okay. So same thing, flip it over and glue away. Okay, so there's our bottom. All right. Now, the next thing I want you to get is going to be... Sorry, I'm throwing things around. I want you to take your inside bottom and your cross braces and pull them out now because they're around this point in the stack and we are going to need that, but I'm just going to set it aside for now, okay? The next thing that we're going to grab is our top front and our top back pieces. Upside down, sorry. I'll set this aside too. All right, so now is where you have to decide as well what you're going to put on the top. In the original box, like I just said, I had put this on the top. I'm going to switch it up and I am going to put on the top, let's see what we got here. I'm going to still kind of go for a blue theme. So I think what I'm going to do is, these are the braces, but I think I only need one page for the braces. Yeah, I'm going to use that. Okay, you can also use the bricks for the top. So you can use this same pattern for the top if you want. Okay, there's all kinds of nice things to choose from. Okay. So, it kind of looks nice actually. I think I'm going to use that for the top. Nah, I'll use that for the top. Decisions, right? Okay, so same thing. Take this, flip it over, and glue these down. Okay, so that is my top. Top back, top front, doesn't matter, spin it around. Same size. Okay. And that's that. So, inside, bottom, top, back. What else we got here? Okay, so these pieces here, pre-notch them out. Okay, so I'm just going to show you now so you'll know when we get to this point. I told you to notch them out, okay? And they are going to fit together like this, okay? And that's going to go on the inside of your box. That's why you're notching them out. So some people that I've already talked to that already have these kits, they said, oh, what do you mean notch it out? So just letting you guys know. All right. So what I'm going to do right now is I am going to put together our base box. Okay. So before I do that, I want to show you guys. So set it aside. This is the top. This is the bottom. Okay. This is the front. And this goes here. So both of these pieces are the front. This is the bottom part. This is the top part. This is the back. And we're back to the front where we started. Okay, so these are the pieces that you want. If you guys jumped ahead and started covering things, it's okay. Alright, so this is the front part of the box. You can take this and you can actually set it aside for right now. Okay? What you guys have to do at this point is decide if you want to wrestle with your pieces later, okay, or if you, when you're installing your handles. So I'm going to show you exactly what I mean here. Now, handles are going to vary in all of the kits, okay, because good things are hard to find, right? So I have these, and this is what I've included in my kits. Every kit's gonna have something different, but you are gonna have a knob for the front. Okay, so this part here is going to go on the front top piece. So if you want to now take this is the front part of the swing up section, and that can go with this. And pick your piece now from here. That goes like that. So I can have that at the back and this at the front. So these pieces here and your knob goes away. Okay, because we're going to work on that part separately. Now, for the front piece, every kit is different. Okay, but you're still going to have your basics. Okay, what we're going to do is you're going to decide right now, okay, how you want to attach your handles. I'm putting handles in the kits. Okay, so I'm gonna show you now that you have to put your magnets in, okay, underneath the paper if this is what you're so doing. All right. If you have the swing ups, or the swing latch in the Bo Bunny kit, this is a different kit, sorry, so I'm just showing you guys. That's for the Accolade kit. So if you have, oh boy, I've lost them. It's not in there. Uh-oh. 1 second. So this is what goes with this kit. Sorry about my head. So these latches, okay? These latches have to be attached now. They don't have to be attached now. I glue them down as well, okay? But any kind of attachments that you're going to be putting onto the bottom section right now, okay, you're going to be doing this now. So take this, and what I want you to do is, you don't have to attach this now. It makes it easier if you don't attach them actually. Okay, so let's regroup myself here. If you are going to install these and you have this in your kit, okay, I want you to pre-mark your holes now so that you can slide the brad, okay, which holds it in. You can slide the brad in. So what I'm going to do, because I'm just going to do it later because it doesn't really bother me that much, is I'm going to measure evenly. It doesn't really matter where you put them. So let's say this, because I have no idea where my ruler is right now, and I'm going to do the width of that, and you want it to be a little bit up. Okay, see this here? So I want it to be farther up above the piece. So I don't want it lined right up. Let's see if I can't zoom in here. Where's my keyboard gone? It's gone. Let me zoom in here so you guys can see what I mean. Okay, so see right here, all right, I'm not lining it right up against here. I'm pushing it about a 1/16 of an inch above it, okay, and I'm going to mark my holes, and I'm just going to use this as a measuring tool. So I'm going to hold it down, and I'm going to mark where the holes are. Now you don't have to punch a hole that big, obviously, okay. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the other side. I'm going to use this same tool because I can. And I'm going to put another mark on this side. Okay. I'm going to hold it down. And like that. Okay. And you can see that when you go like this, you can see that they are even. Okay, so I just marked now so I don't have to wrestle with it later. Okay, so that's how that works. And I use pencil because if you change your mind, you don't have to do that. Okay, so let's put this back in here. Somebody might be getting a kit that had one open, just saying. Alright, it could happen. Okay, so put these back in the other one here. All right. First, what we're going to do is we are going to cover and put the decorative. We're going to use our construction strips for constructing, but we are also going to use them for covering the chipboard edges. So first of all, I'm going to take my first one and I'm going to cover this, okay, with my construction strip. So what I do is I just hold it up to the end like that, okay, and I just give it a little snippy and cut it off. Oops, sorry, I'm going to smack the mic there, okay, and I'm going to do that to this edge. Now Okay, and once you guys see what I'm doing the first time, you're not going to need to see it every time, so we can fast forward. So now see how I went over the edge a little? Right there, you can see that. Just snip that off, hold your scissors up, and snip it off, okay? So I'm going to burnish it really good. You have to burnish it as good as if it was a construction strip, but burnish it good anyway. We don't need that thing popping up. Now, my score tape is actually right up against the score that I made on this one, so it's actually already stuck to the chipboard. So I'm good there, and I'm just going to roll it over. Okay, and then I'm going to burnish it down. Like that. Okay, so that's the decorative piece for that. This piece as well, this is not a decorative piece, this is going to be a functional construction strip. So we're going to do the same thing. And I'm just going to trim it off. And I'm going to attach it, okay, to this. Okay, and I'm going to burnish this one really, really good, okay? Burnishing is a good thing. And save these pieces, okay? You're going to need them. All right? And so now I have this. All right? And also, so see, pieces like that fit on the end here. Alright, so that's for future reference. So that piece is done. These two pieces here, we're going to put a decorative edge on this. Okay, like that. So I'm just going to take this and peel it back, and I'll show you in case you want to do it my way here. So this is going to be a decorative edge again. Alright, so I'm going to take this, pin it down like this. Okay. Burnish it. Because again, this is a decorative edge, okay? Alright, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you the other trunk. Give me 1 second. Okay. So these are the clasps I was talking about, right? So in the other trunk, you're not going to see any of the inside. Well, you will eventually, but so like in here, all of these pieces that are attaching to it, okay, we're going to cover. So you're not so much worried about the side right now, so the inside here, okay, because it's all going to be covered. So just so you know, throwing things around. Okay, so I just put that on, and now I'm going to trim it off like that. Alright, and I'm going to, because it's going to be on a weird angle, I'm not going to use that strip anyway. I already burnished. Flip it over, burnish it again. Now, I can already tell my score tape is not going to touch. Okay, so this is, if you want, you guys can just put a little bead of glue. Don't slather it all in there. You can put a little bit of glue. Remove your score tape. And now you know that it's not going to come away from the edge. Okay, and that's going to be for construction strips as well. Okay, just so you know. So this is a dry baby wipe. You guys can use a cloth, whatever you want. I actually usually use cloths, like lint-free cloths. I think you can get, I don't know where you guys get them. Lint-free. Okay, so here we have this. All right. So what I want to do is I'm going to take this piece here. All right, and I want to right now line it up with this, the corner of this other construction strip. Okay, and that's where I'm going to cut it off. So I'm going to just take my scissors. I already know it's at the blue line, so I can see it from here. And I'm just going to snip that off and go like that. And make sure it's going to cover it. Okay, so then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a notch. So my notch is going to be here. So you're just going to make a little L, and you'll see what I mean in a minute. Okay, I'm going to make a little, oopsie, better too little than too much. So this piece here, okay, is going to cover that, and it's just going to give it a little bit more of a finished look. Okay, so in order to get the exact same thing on the other side, you're going to take your score tape, match your score tape sides together, trim it off, and do the exact same thing on the other one. Okay, and then you don't have to measure that all over again. Okay, so that's that. So now you have these two pieces, opposite sides. I'm going to take this, okay, and I am going to stick it down, lining it up. I'm going to burnish it. Now this is going to be somewhat of a construction strip, so I'm going to leave it open for now and do the same thing on the other side, but first I have to attach my fancy schmancy strip. Okay, now again, look on this side. If you have a little bit hanging over, give it a little trim now, so it's done. In case you forget to do it later, I'm going to check the other side, make sure. Yep, so I just get a little tiny little bit. Okay, and that is done. So you have these two sides are completely done on the front. Okay, next what I'm going to do is I am going to put a construction strip on the bottom. Okay, and this is a full construction strip. This is not a decorative strip. So I'm going to put it on the bottom. And I'm going to need 4 of these. So I may as well just snip this off now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take 3 more, line them all up, and do 4 at the same time. Because fast is good. Okay, and again, save these pieces. You're going to need them in a minute or two. So I'm going to put these on the bottom of both sides. Okay, so I have this side and this side, and now I'm going to get my back piece. Okay, this piece here, you are going to put this on the bottom. Okay, so make sure you go in the right direction. Okay. Okay, so that's the bottom. Alright. And we've already done this. Okay. So now what I want you to do is take this piece here. Alright, so this is the top. And before you flip it around the wrong way, so I'm going to make this the top, right? So I want to make sure I got everything going the right way. So this is going to be the back. So this is the back and this is the front. So I have my direction going on here. I'm going to take this away. I'm not going to put a pencil mark, and what I'm going to do is I am going to attach this construction strip to this, because then I know it's the back. Okay, and I don't have to mess with it. I'm not going to screw it up. Alright. Now I have to keep checking that I lined it up. Okay, down there and burnish it really good. Alright, so now I know that that is the back. Okay, and it's going to set onto here. Like that. Alright, I just noticed I have some hanging over here, so I'm going to trim that off right now. Like that. Okay, so here's the back. This is the outside back here. Once again, I am going to lay that flat, okay, and I am going to set this on top of here. Okay. So what I'm going to do is take this off. I'm going to fold this over. Okay, and my score tape is stuck already. Okay, so I don't need any art glitter glue on this. If you want to add some, now would be the time. So I'm just going to show you guys what you can do. Is just don't put it on the score tape side, okay? So put your glue just right along the edge there. Alright. Like that. You don't need a whole lot because our glitter glue is awesome. And then line up the edges. Like this. And stick her down. Okay. Like that. Okay, I'm going to set that up there for a second. Okay, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to, oh, I have another piece to trim here. I see a little bit I've left here. Just a little bit of paper hanging out there. Okay, so I'm going to take these two pieces here, and I'm going to put construction strips on this side and this side. Okay, so I have that. Oopsie. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take two of the pieces that I had left. Alright. Okay. And make sure they fit. If they're too small, use a different one. These are too small. So, okay, I've made enough. I'm going to do this because I want full coverage. Because you're going to see this. This is right at the front of your project. So, it's the front bottom. I'm going to cut two that are the same size. And I know these are full coverage because I just checked it. Okay, and then we're going to put these on either end here. Okay, so see here where this side, obviously, I didn't cut it right. Duh. Trim it off now, but I'll show you from the other side. Do it from the other side and make sure you do not cut into this construction strip. Okay? You do not want to do that. Now I can burnish it. And I'm going to burnish this. Okay. Garbage here. Okay. Also, last but not least, we are going to do the top right here. Okay. So now that my glue is dried on this piece, I'm going to cover this right now with just a decorative cover piece, okay? So I'm going to trim it off, make it the right size. Okay. Test fit it so you don't have to manhandle it because it's glued and nicey nice there. But you don't want to crack the glue off, right? You just went through all that effort to, sorry, I'm on a camera. I'm just peeling people, it's okay. So, this is a decorative strip. Okay. And then I'm going to take it like this, burnish it, peel this off. Okay. Set that down like that. Okay. So we have that. Alright. Last but not least, so these pieces are going to go onto here. All right, so this is going to go on here like this. We're going to attach the top here with a construction strip. If you believe that you've put it on improperly, now is the time you're going to find out if you did that wrong or not, because these two corners, the front will be sticking out or the back will be sticking out. You want to just dry fit everything. Okay, make sure everything is lined up before you stick it down. Okay, like that. Alright, so that's where we're at now. And what I want you to do is, again, you'll see here too. I'm going to zoom back out, people, so you can see. Hold on. Okay, that's a little better. So now you can totally see, you can see the whole picture. It's lined up at the bottom in this corner. Okay, it's lining up in the top like that. So dry fit. Okay, and it's lining up here. All right, so the top part is not sticking out incredible amounts like this way. Okay, so what I want you to do now is take this off. boy. You put some glue along here, and actually I don't have a lot of glue in here, so, or the score tape is not touching. Okay, so I can actually take that, put some glue in there first. I'm gonna bend it up and squish that glue around in there. Okay, and then I'm gonna lift this up and line it up and set it down. Now, I already dry fitted, so I know it's fitting at the bottom perfectly. Okay. Now push it down. And I'm going to give it a burnish from this side. And now, because we've glued it, we want to let it dry. Okay, so I'm just going to leave that alone for a minute. And I'm going to turn it around and let it set up. And it doesn't take long. It's art glitter glue, so it's pretty quick. All right. So we're going to do the same thing for this side. Okay. I'm going to just give it a quick burnish now. Again, I can see that there's not a lot, and because this is what's going to be holding our whole box on the outside together, I'm actually going to put a little bit of art glitter glue in here as well. Can never be too safe, but don't slather it. Don't put a whole bunch. Okay. You don't need a whole bunch. So I'm going to do that. Burnish it up. Okay. The other side should be set by now. Okay, and don't worry if you hit it and you crack it and the glue comes off. That's okay, right? Because you can always put more glue in. And we're actually going to do the inside of this as well with construction strips to make sure it all stays together. So I'm lining up the bottom piece first, bottom corner. Okay, and I'm going to push that down onto my score tape and my construction strip. Okay, and I'm going to give a little burnish without knocking it out of its spot. Okay, so that's what we have so far. So we're looking at the inside of the box. What am I hooking on here? There we go. Okay, and what I want you to do next is take this piece, this is the front, dry fit it on here. Okay, like that. Okay. I am not that daring today, I gotta tell you. I've had enough going on. So, if you look, I've got it on the chipboard here, okay? Because it's gonna butt up against the other one. So I'm gonna press it down. I'm gonna press this one down too, so you guys can see it. And I'm gonna set it up against it, okay? So I'm going to set it against the chipboard, and then I'm going to just hold it down with my finger. I got to flip that back over so you guys are going to see it. And I'm going to wrap it around. I'm going to wrap my construction strip around. And don't worry, you'll see it in a minute. Okay? And I'm going to do the same on the other side, but what I'm going to do first, I'm going to flip this up so you guys can see the inside. Okay? See that? Okay, I'm going to burnish that in a minute. I'm not too worried about it because the glue is holding it on. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. And I'm going to flip it. Let me see which way I'm going to flip this so you guys can see it. Like this. Okay, so I am going to set this side down like that. And I'm going to just run a little bit of glue along there. Okay, because and I'm going to flip this construction strip up for now. I'm going to line it up right along the edge. Okay. take this up and I'm going to wrap and I'm pushing while I'm wrapping, okay? And I'm going to wrap that construction strip around there, okay? Like that. So I'm going to give it another second for the glue to dry before I start burnishing and flipping it all around. Now this side, this is the top, okay? You're going to put a construction strip on the top, okay? And I'm just going to cut this off, or I'm just going to take the whole tape off right now, and I'm going to trim it because this piece here, now we set it there temporarily, okay? But I am going to take this and I'm going to set it there. Oops. Okay, and I'm just going to gently push it down. All right, so I took, it's on this, look, the score tape is not attached yet to the top, okay? And I'm going to trim it off. And again, be careful not to cut off your already installed construction strip. So I'm just going to do that because the glue's still drying, so I figure maybe do something while it's drying, right? I'm going to take this, put it on the other side, and again, I'm not attaching it to the top yet. I am attaching it to the side. Okay, like that. I'm going to cut this one on an angle. Okay. So like that. Throw that out before I stick it to myself. Okay, so all these pieces are ready to go now. I'm going to burnish this, so I'm just going to lie it on its side. It's safe now because the glue should be dry. And then I'm just going to burnish my edges. Okay. Flip it over this way. Burnish this edge. Sorry, I know you can't see, but I'm burnishing. Alright, and then for the top piece, I want you to take this and I want, or whatever tool you're using, and I want you to push on the corner. Okay. And I want you to roll along the edge here and kind of flatten that out because you want that to be tucked in all nicey nice. Okay. You'll see why in a second. So the roof as well, okay, gets tucked in the inside here. So you can see that. So I'm going to butt it up against there. All right. So it has to be on the inside. So if you want to put glue in at this point, you can. And the way I'm going to show you is by doing this, I think. Hold on. So there's the inside. All right. I am just going to, first I'm going to take this off. All right. And I'm going to run a bead of our glitter glue there. And I'm going to run a little bit on this chipboard here. Okay, and before it dries, I'm going to set it on there, and then I'm going to burnish this up. You can pull it up with your fingers or do whatever you want. I just have an easier time, I don't know why, with my little tool I got here. Okay, and that's that side done. Okay, and there's glue on the inside that oozed out, so I'm going to just clean that up now. I know you guys can't see that, but okay. Bring it up, and then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Okay, so I'm just going to run, first I'm going to take this off, and I'm going to run a bead of glue along here. And just a little bit in there. Alright. So when I slide it this way, it's going to grab the glue. And now I'm going to burnish this up. Okay, and I'm not pushing real hard because I don't want it to go crazy and pop itself in there, okay? So I'm going to let that dry for a second. And now I'm going to turn it over again, and I'm going to burnish it from the inside and push real hard and make sure everything's all set in place. Okay? So, while I'm waiting for that glue to dry, and it dries fast, but, you know. Okay, so this is the outside bottom. So what we're going to do is we're going to take it, flip it upside down. We are going to stick it in the box. We're going to push it in the bottom. Move these out of the way. And we are going to make sure that this thing fits in there as snug as a bug in a rug. Okay? So it fits perfectly. If you are forcing this in like crazy, you need to trim it. Okay? In the instructions, I don't know if I put it in there or not. I could probably read it and tell you, but use the same cutter for your entire project. I do mention that. I have a video on my YouTube channel. You guys can go find it, and it's just tips on cutting chipboard. Okay? So what I've done in essence, now I'm going to flip this over and show you. So now that is going to be your bottom. Okay? This glue should be dry, so before I forget, I'm going to flip the whole thing upside down, and I'll pop the bottom out so you guys can see what that's doing. Okay, and I am going to burnish this now and make sure it is attached really well to the construction strips, okay? And I have to do it from this side because obviously I don't want it to collapse, right? But because we attached the back one and we really burnished it good, like on the actual side where the construction strips are, we should be okay, right? Okay, so we're gonna flip this back up. Now, before we flip this over, pick a side, people. So I'm gonna flip these sides out. I'm going to take this off. It's just gonna make my life easier. I'm gonna flip the back here and the front. Okay, I'm going to flip them back in a little, and I'm going to stick this just ever so gently onto there. I'm going to do the same with the back, stick it onto there, okay, and I'm going to just burnish it down a little bit, and I'm going to do the same on the other side here. And not hard, I'm just doing it so it ain't moving around on me, and I'm not going to be wrestling with it. So same on this side here. And I'm just pushing it down on the chipboard. Okay. And I'm just giving a little light pinch. So when you flip this back over, okay, you can set it down. And you can see that these things aren't going to wrestle with you inside of there. Alright? They're pinned down. So once again, take your piece that you already dry fitted, flip it over, stick it inside the box, make sure it fits again. Alright, make sure nothing moved around on you, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this score tape off because I'm good to go now. Fit, I'm sorry, my head's going to have to be in the way here for a second, sorry. At least you guys get to stare at the pretty paper. It is very pretty paper. Right? That. There's another one. I have to reach in here. Get this piece out. OMG. Grr. Not cooperating. There we go. Okay. Yes, I have 2 craft knives at all times because I lose one and then I can't find it. So I'm going to set it down, all my score tapes off, and see now your box is still kind of wonky, right? Once you do this and you put this piece in here, it's not going to be wonky at the bottom. So make sure you flip it upside down before you put it in. And what I'm doing, I'll just show you from this angle, I'm just setting it in. It's really high right now. I already know it fits because I already dry fit it. And I'm going to drop it in like that. Okay. everything's all glued nicey nice here, and it's fitting kind of snug, but maybe it was the other way. Possibility. So this, oh yeah, see, I twisted the box somehow. So you've already dry fit it, you know it fits. Make it happen. Okay, so it's going in nicey nice now. Okay, you can give the box a little wiggle here and there, because obviously it has to move. And then take both hands and push straight down. Okay, like that. I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to check and make sure that, so for example, that one did not stick on there. Okay, so before I start burnishing things, I want to make sure all of my underneath here is not bubbled up. So see, I just set it in there. So see, that's still lifted up. I didn't push it down or burnish it down yet. I want to make sure that everything's fitting before I do that, right? So if it's gone past the chipboard, whatever the case may be, okay. Now I can just gently set it on there, and I'm going to flip it back. Everything's lining up good. Okay, and now I'm going to push it down. Make it stick. Okay, now my box is going to be square on the inside and on the bottom. Okay, because the glue is all dry now, it should be anyway, I can burnish this at the bottom. Alright, and I'm just holding my hand up underneath. You don't need to push really hard right now. You want to make sure it's stuck, because if you don't stick it now and you start dragging it around, you're going to get dirt in there and dust from your papers, and then the squirt tape isn't going to stick. Alright, so I'm going to do that first so it doesn't buckle, and then I'm going to do it from the inside really good. Okay, so you guys can't see that I'm doing that, but that's what I'm doing. Okay. So now it is burnished in, it's not going anywhere. That's that. Okay, so that's the bottom part of the box. So now what I'm going to do as well, the piece that we did, we know the measurements, but in case things change or if you've trimmed it off, I'm going to just put that in there. I'm going to give it a little crease with my fingernail. Okay, and I am going to put 4 pieces on the inside, okay, because I want this box to be sturdy. I don't want the bottom falling out. Okay, so I'm going to measure 4 that are the same. We can always trim them later, but okay, and I'm just going to cut these off. Okay, and with these, I'm going to turn them the other way. Okay, and we are going to put them inside on the bottom. Okay, and we're going to do that all the way around. I'm going to do right and left side first and front and back. So I'll do the first one. Now I'm only taking off 1 piece of score tape. This is why it sticks to you. Okay, so I'm going to take 1 piece. Stick it down there, burnish it really good. Okay. And if you want to as well now, like I said, I'm going from right to left, and then front to back, or back to front. Okay. And if you want to, you can put a little run of or glitter glue on the inside along the edge of that construction strip. Okay, so put it in there, burnish it, Get it going. Flip it on this side and burnish it really well. I know you guys can't see what I'm doing, but I am burnishing this really, really well. Okay, so that is in there. Okay, do this for the rest of the sides. Okay. Okay, so that is on the inside. Okay, now I want you guys to put 2 more along this edge. Okay. Okay, so I have those on the inside. Now I'm also going to put 1 across the back here and 2 more on the inside here. Okay. Okay, so now this is what we have. All right, we have all of our inside secure. You can actually already feel that the box is getting more and more solid as we go along. So you can take the top, putting these in prevents it from being pushed in. Okay, and once we get everything in here, it is solid. It is not going anywhere. So remember those pieces I told you to set aside? Well, guess what? I set it aside and I don't know where I put it. Okay, found it. So the last part we're going to do for this portion of the video, okay, is we are going to put in our cross braces. All right, so you want to make sure they fit. You want to make sure they're flush. Okay, now don't forget, read the instructions for the cutting guide for these. Okay, so these are going to fit in like this. All right, we're not so much worried about the back, we're worried about the front. So they're going to fit in like this. They're going to slide into the corner, okay, and they're going to secure here, here, in the corner, here. Okay, now you want to make sure that these are exactly flush. Okay, you don't want them sticking up, because if you do, it's not going to work right. Okay, so right now that's where we're at. You guys know where we're at. I'm going to take this off and I'm going to add these little pieces, okay, that I told you guys to save. And we're going to add some of these onto the ends. Alright, burnish it on. I'm going to turn it over so I can see here. Alright, there's one. I'm going to put on the same side, I guess. There's 2. Alright. Here's 3. And here's 4. Okay, I'm going to trim these up. Like that. Okay, so we're at this point now. I want to take our pieces, stick them together. Okay, so that you know how they're going in. Alright, so I'm going to put mine in like this. Oopsie. Okay, so that is how mine are going to go in. Alright, it doesn't matter what direction you're putting your construction strips here. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to stick a couple on the sides. Okay, and you can't see that, so I'm going to put this underneath so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm just taking one side off, I'm setting it up against there, and I'm pushing it there. so that it's level. And I'm going to use these little pieces that I have left over. Because once it's going to be inside, it's not going to move, right? So, and you're not going to see it, so it doesn't really matter where you put it. Oops, don't do that. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to make sure one more time that it's going to fit properly, okay? So I'm going to shove that in the corner there. I'm going to shove this up in the corner here. Alright, and you'll see that it's not quite going to the back, but we don't really need a lot of stability in the back because we're going to have more as we keep building. We want to make sure that these corners here are supported. Okay? Then what I want you to do is you have scraps of chipboard. I know you do. Okay? And if you're not feeling real confident about it, actually, I'm not even gonna do that. Okay, good enough. So that is where I'm gonna have my pieces. So first what I'm gonna do, so that they don't move around, is I'm gonna make sure it's crammed in the corner where I want it. Okay? And I'm gonna peel this off underneath. Alright. So I'm going to take one corner at a time pretty much. So I'm going to shove it in the corner. Okay, I've peeled that off. I'm going to take this piece off. I may as well. And I'm only going to do two. I can wrestle with the rest later. Okay, and I'm going to shove this piece into the corner without setting it down. Okay, and then I'm going to take this and I'm going to make sure that it's snug and it's straight, and I'm going to make sure that everything is shoving into the corner. Both pieces are shoving into the corner before I set it down. Alright? So, like that. Okay, and this piece is not quite going where I want it to go. Okay? So like that. Now, pull this forward so that this piece is going to stick into the wall, and it doesn't matter if it's a little warped. Okay, that's okay, because we're basically using this to hold up the bottom. And now you can push down on the two pieces that you removed the backing from. Okay, burnish it down. Like I said, it's not going to go anywhere because this is pretty much the bottom support, right? Burnish the other piece. Okay, then I'm going to start peeling all the rest of these off. Now, if you feel brave, go right ahead and peel them all off. I'm not that brave. Sorry, not going to happen. So again, I'm going to pull this right into the corner, and then I'm going to stick that down in there. I'm going to peel this one off now. And also, if you really wanted to, you could use your art glitter glue for this. And then you won't be wrestling with it like I am right now. Like that. So there we go. And it's in the corner. Okay, this one's in the corner. Peel this up now. Okay, make sure it's straight. Just gonna wiggle it around there a bit and stick that one down. And burnish it. Okay, I got one more here. I know you guys can't see it, but trust me. And I'm making sure that this piece here is sitting against the outside wall before I push this down. Alright, burnish that. So those are all burnished, and then I'm going to take the inside pieces off of here, the backing off of this. So there we go. So that's what we got. Oops, look at that in there. And then I'm going to tip it on its side. I'm going to burnish this down as best I can. Okay. So I have that now. Okay, I'm not worried about the back. Okay. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this piece here and I'm going to put it in, and again we're going to dry fit and make sure it fits properly. Okay, right to the edge. Alright. Now this one, for some unknown reason, is not fitting inside, and I believe it's because I put construction strips on the back, so it's better too tight than not tight enough. Okay, so what I want you to do is, we're good. That's pretty good. Okay, dry fit. These are going to fold over top of this. Okay, and because you've put those braces in the corners, you're going to have something to burnish down. You're going to burnish this down. Okay, this here is, let's see. Okay. Let's see here. Piece is a little wonky. So like that. Okay, so this is how we want it. We want it to be inset, okay, into here. Alright, we're going to put a strip on the front, so I'll show you on the other box. Okay, and then you can see what I was talking about. Alright, we're going to put another construction strip to hold that in. Okay, so we're going to wrap this with another construction strip, so around this edge here. Okay. Now, like I said though, you may have to trim it if you've measured it. Mine, I'm going to trim mine down right now because it's a little too long. I kind of don't want it hanging that much up here, okay? So, I'm going to get my trimmer out. And this is how I'm going to do this. Because it's pretty tight. And we want it tight, but not that tight. Okay, and I am just going to take a little bit off of here. And I know this does not cut it all the way, but it's a good start. And then I'm going to do this. And I'm just going kind of gentle. Because if you start pushing too hard, it'll grab it and you'll end up going all wonky and sideways. And you don't want that. So now I've trimmed off just a little bit here. Missed a piece. Now I manage that. Okay, now I'm going to put that to the back. I'm going to get past those construction strips back there, and now it's pretty good now. Okay, because I want it to inset inside here. Alright, so now it's inset. And it's not going to go down any further because we have the brace underneath. Okay. So last but not least is, first of all, I have to get this down a little bit further here. Okay. It should be exactly flat. Like that. Okay, so it's flush with this. If it is not flush with this, okay, which could happen to you, all right, you never know, you need to shave this off. So you can either take your craft knife and just shave the corner off, just a little tiny bit. Now mine's fine, but I'm going to do it anyway just to show you. You don't want to take a whole bunch off, you just want to shave it. All right, until you take off enough, okay, so that this, you can also take this and you can give it a little push down on it. So you flatten it out just a little bit more, like that. That's another way of doing it, okay? You can do that all the way, because you know if it's too high in the front, it's going to be too high in the back. So you can just flatten it all out. And at this point, it doesn't really matter what you use, right? Mine's going to be really sunk in now, so oopsie. But I just want to show you guys that there's ways around fixing this if it's sticking up, because you do not want it to be sticking up, okay? And now I have to flatten everything out because I flattened that out. Just the way it is. I want it to be even, Steven. Okay, so I flatten mine out. I'm going to stick this back in. Okay, and like that, push it in. But you don't want to see how don't push it in really far in the back. Okay, if you need to, take it, put your construction strip on it first, and line it up like that, and just kind of delicately push down where your braces are, okay, and that's how you're going to get it even. Do the back construction strip first so that you don't push it down accidentally, okay? Again, it's not going to affect the box because we have other things that are going to cover that, but I just want this box to be really stable, okay? So that's how we're going to do that. So I'm going to take this off. I'm going to put a construction strip on here now. And you can actually do all 4 sides. Okay, one more dry fit to make sure we got where we're going here. I'm going to slide the front in first. So I'm taking this piece, okay, and I'm butting it up against the front like this, because we don't want it to go over top of it. Alright, mine's really low now, just so because I had to show you guys. So I want this piece in, and I want it sunk in there. Mine's really going in there, but you don't really want it to go in that far. Okay, mine is because I fixed it, remember? Okay, so I'm going to do the front first, and then I'm going to gently slide it down, and I'm going to use the braces to prevent it from collapsing in the back. So like that. And then I'm going to remove the score tape on the back piece without pushing it down. Okay, like that. Alright, I'm going to burnish this back piece in. Got that pretty straight. And so you guys see what I mean. So you can push on this and it's not going anywhere, okay, because you put that brace in there. All right, so now before we do anything else here, all right, I want you to take your scissors, okay, and I want you to trim off this piece here. Alright, or what you can do is fold this in and go like this, and I'm going to just do that so you can see it. So we're trimming off this right here. Alright, so I'm just going to use my scissors, turn this way so I can do it, and I'm going to trim it. And you want to trim it so that you're not going to see it. Okay, and then I'm going to go straight up and down here, and I'm going to take this little notch out, and now you will see that it fits, okay, like that. And you want to do that to both sides. Okay, so there's your notch piece. Now we can remove the score tape from this piece here. And again, don't push down because there are spots that aren't covered by the inside part. So just make sure you're level with your braces, okay? Before you set this in stone. And I'm going to burnish this in now. Flip it over, and so I did that. And now I'm going to do the other side. And again, don't, like just now, I just collapsed that. You don't want to do that. So I just, it's going to line itself up, okay? So if you're holding it at the front, all right? Let me show you. It popped out here because of this. So I'm going to move these back out of here. There we go. Okay, so now I can stick this back where it's supposed to be. Inset. Inside of here. Okay, this one here is supposed to be inset inside of there. Alright, so it's level. And then I've removed my score tape. Okay, and I'm just going to gently lay it down and I'm going to press on the score tape. Okay, without pushing on this part, just push on that. Lay it on its side. Okay, I'm going to burnish that. And that is in there. Okay, now with these pieces here, one is a decorative piece, one is not. So it's up to you which one you want to do. You can flip this one over. You can chop this off here. I'm not. I'm going to leave this side on. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off this piece right here. Okay. Like that. And if you want to at this point as well, you can just drop a little bit of art glitter glue. If it'll work. Okay. Not working. Uh-oh. There's the pin. Okay. I'm going to drop a bead of glue in there. Alright, I'm going to make sure this is inset because obviously it is not. Okay. And then I'm going to remove my score tape off of here. I am going to then wrap it around. Okay, and you can push on this one because there's a brace in the middle here, so you can push in the corner and get that in there pretty good, right? Just here, there is no brace, so push only on the corner part. Alright, so that's burnished on there. And I'm going to do the same to the other side, so I'm just going to chop this off. Alright, it doesn't matter how we chopped it off because we're going to cover it anyway. Make sure it's inset. Alright. I'm going to drop some art glitter glue in here. I'm going to take off my score tape. And I'm just holding this here because it keeps wanting to pop out on me. Alright. And I'm going to just set it in there. Now, I can burnish this down on the edge. And burnish this down on the edge. Alright, and none of that is going anywhere right now. It's all good. And the last piece we're going to do is we're going to take this and we're going to roll it over. Okay? So, I'm going to turn it this way so you guys can see. If you take this off, you will notice that this, you don't need art glitter glue for this piece because the score tape is going to sit right on this front piece. Alright? So just make sure, like see here how it's popping out, make sure it's inset in there like that, and then run your finger along, okay, like that, and sticking really good. Okay. So I've run my finger along there like that, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay it down. I'm going to burnish on the top. Actually, I'm going to push this in a little bit before I burnish it because it kind of went a little too far out. It's almost popping out. I can see it. I know you guys can't see it. Sorry. I'm going to burnish this. And if the score tape is not hitting it, put some art glitter glue on there before you attempt to do this. Okay. So I burnished that really good. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll it over. That. Now I can burnish it really good. So in order to burnish it, I'm actually going to tip it out. Okay. So there you have it. Okay. If you're unimpressed with that, you could always cover it with something. Slap a piece of ribbon on there. But I found that is the sturdiest way to do it. Okay. Like that. So that is part 1, and we're done the bottom section. Okay. Part 1 and done. So guys, join me for part 2. You will find the link for part 2 down below. If you have any questions or if you're having issues putting it together, you guys feel free to leave me a message down below. Okay? Your links are there. I'm going to also put the link for the cutting tips for the chipboard. Okay? So that's it. We have a wonderful bottom section of our box. Okay? So I will see you in part 2. Bye-bye now.